In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips plus some bonus content on how to grow your YouTube channel. These are the strategies that I use to take my channel from 0 subscribers to over 100,000 in a very small niche. To bear these out, I started a second channel last year documenting our Halloween decorations for 2023. That channel quickly racked up over 1 million views, became monetized, and continues to earn passive income every month even though I haven't paid it any attention in almost a year. I learned these strategies through a lot of trial and error, but I'm happy to share them with you guys and hopefully get your channel off to the right start or get you growing again. I will put timestamps in the pinned comment down below so you can jump around if you want. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. Now let's jump in with tip number 1. Tip number 1 and the cornerstone upon which your content strategy should be built is value creation. If you are creating content solely to get likes and subscribers, you are doomed. You've got to shift your mindset into that of value creation. Your audience is giving you the most valuable commodity in the universe, their time. Your goal should be to return the most value possible to them in the time that they're giving you. Now, value creation really only comes down to 2 components. You're either educating or you're entertaining. Which direction that you choose should come pretty organic to you. If you're a naturally outgoing, charismatic, and extroverted person, you'll likely default to the entertainment side. If you have technical expertise and unique skills that you like to share, you're going to default to the more educational side. Now, if you can merge the 2 of them and create entertaining educational content, that's a win-win. But don't beat yourself up if you can't do that. Just focus on what feels the most natural. But just remember, and I cannot stress this enough, just aim to provide the most amount of value to your audience as you possibly can. Focus on improving incrementally and continuing to add value each and every video. If you do that continuously, the likes and the subscriber count will continue to grow. Tip number 2, be authentic. Remember what I said in the value creation component that you should do what feels the most organic for you. Human beings can sense inauthenticity, even through a screen. So it's really important to be yourself. It's important to do a lot of research and try to emulate some of the creators in your space, but don't try to copy them. When I was building my channel, I took a lot of inspiration from Matt at Scale Builders Guild, Greg at RC Driver, and Matt at 2FMRC. But I didn't set out to be the next Greg or be the next Matt. I took bits and pieces from each one of their creative styles and I integrated it into my own style. I took the pieces that were the most natural feeling to me. And then over time, I just kind of developed my own style. I'm also convinced that my channel grew really fast in the beginning because it was me genuinely learning. I was making mistakes. I was learning as I was going. The audience was growing with me in the hobby. And my enthusiasm was genuine. There was nothing fake about it. And I think that translates on camera. So that's why it's really important when you think about the value creation in your content strategy, find something that you're passionate about, that you can really let yourself go and be yourself because the audience can tell. So it's really, really important. Remember, do your research, check out top creators in your space. Don't try to be them. Be yourself and just focus on getting better and better and better each video. You'll develop your own unique style and eventually people will be looking to you for inspiration. Now we're going to get into some of the tactical tips here. Tip number 3 is about audio-visual equipment. Going back to tip number 1, adding value. You want to make your videos as enjoyable and easy to watch as possible. And part of that is having good lighting and good sound. So that's why I recommend investing some time, effort, and money, not a lot of money, but some into a decent softbox lighting setup and some microphones. Let's look at the lighting first. I'd recommend grabbing an LED softbox kit. If you can afford to get 2, that would be ideal. I use the Mount Dog LED softbox kit, very inexpensive. I think it was less than $100 for the pair of LED lights. Now the benefits of having 2 is that you can create a little more dimension in your shots. So if you can have a key light, I might butcher this, so bear with me, I'm not an expert, but you want to have one light, your main light, your key light, pointed 45 degrees off to your good side. And you want to have that pointing down, not directly at you. One of the mistakes that I made when I first got started was I felt like more light was better. So I had the softbox light literally 8 inches in front of my face on full blast, pointing directly at my face. And I remember some of the comments that people were leaving that they could not watch my videos because it was too bright, it would hurt their eyes. So me being the practitioner that I am, did some research on light and found out that it's not how much light, it's how you position it and how you use it. Grab yourself a nice LED softbox, set up your key light, and then to find the brightness, what you want to do is turn off all the other lights in the room. Hopefully you have a dark room where there's no external light coming in. You want a dark space, and you're going to start from black, and then you're going to turn on your key light. And you're going to start at the dimmest setting, and you're going to gradually come up until you find the optimal setting for you. Now, if you can get two lights, you can get what's called a fill light. So I've got another softbox LED light over here pointing almost directly at the side of my face. Now this one, you're going to bring it down a little bit. It's going to point directly at you. This is going to be much, much dimmer. I also turn the temperature down a little bit. The combination of these two is going to give you dimension. You can see the primary light is casting the most light on my face, creating slight shadows on the left-hand side, being slightly filled by the fill light so that it's not too much shadow. The combination is going to give you nice, rich lighting with some dimension to it. Next up for sound, I recommend getting an external microphone. I still have the first microphone that I used. I got this little Rode mic. Simple and effective. I think it was right around 50 bucks. I will link all of these in the description down below. Great little microphone. It comes with the Dead Cat, the windsock on it. Works great for outdoors. I still keep this and use it occasionally. I ended up getting a tabletop microphone just because it's lower profile. I can set it down underneath me and point it at me, and it's just a little less cumbersome than having to use the handheld tripod that I have here. So when I'm out and about, I kind of use the Rode mic setup on this tripod. I also picked up a pair of lavalier mics. So these are Bluetooth, they're wireless, so it has the Bluetooth connector here, and then the mic itself, very small, you can clip it right onto shirt collar. It's small and inconspicuous and does a great job. None of these things were very expensive. Obviously, as you grow and if you want to invest more, the sky is the limit with this equipment. But this basic setup is what I started using right around when I had 10,000-ish subscribers, and it hasn't changed hardly at all. So just remember, you don't have to break the bank or become a subject matter expert on these things, but it does pay to invest the time and effort and a little bit of money into this equipment. Your videos will be much better for it. Tip number 4 is about your recording and your uploading preferences. Going back to what I said earlier, you want to make your videos as pleasant and easy to watch as possible for your audience, and a big part of that is high quality video. No matter what device you use to film, just make sure that you can film in at least 4K. I started with and continue to this day to only use my iPhone Pro Max as my recording device. I do everything on my iPhone still. I record, I edit, I post, all of it, 100% on the phone. If you are going to use a smartphone for your recording device, and you certainly can, I do suggest that you upgrade the software to a higher powered camera app. Now, I personally use the Moment app. It has a ton of features in it that lets you manually adjust and configure way more settings than the stock Apple camera app. It also lets you adjust your mic gain, which is important for good sound. Now, I shoot most of my videos in 24 frames per second. That's for landscape long form YouTube videos. It gives it kind of that choppy cinematic look to it. For a vertical video, for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram, I use a 60 frames per second. It's going to give it that brighter, crispier feel. So I do find that the platform and the format of video seems to prefer one style of recording versus the other. Now, to edit my videos, again, I do it all on the phone. I use CapCut Pro for my editing. Now, there's a number of different programs that you can use for your editing. Just remember, it's very, very important that you do 4K video. Make sure you can shoot, export, and upload in 4K. The quality standards on YouTube today are pretty high, so you want to make sure that you can meet those so that your audience gets a good visual experience when they're watching your videos. Tip number 5 is consistency. Now, I researched a lot about human behavior when I was starting my channel and building my content strategy. One of the things that I kept coming across was how humans crave consistency. So when you're developing your content strategy, pick a consistent upload schedule, one that you can stick to and deliver week after week, month after month, year after year. As your audience grows, you want them to become familiar with your uploading schedule. When I first set out, I dedicated myself to doing 2 videos a week. I do a Wednesday and a Sunday. And in over 1,000 uploads, I can count on one hand how many times I've deviated from that schedule. Now, obviously things come up, family issues, or in my case, special product releases that kind of dictate when videos need to be dropped. But I try to stick as close to that regular schedule as I possibly can. And if I'm going to deviate from that, I'll put up a post to let folks know that the video will be late. Sometimes I'll sprinkle in extra videos, which is great, but don't overextend yourself. Be conservative in the beginning. If you can only commit to one a week or one every 2 weeks, that's perfectly fine. But find something that works best for you, your lifestyle, works around your family and your work obligations, all of the external factors. It's better to upload less frequently but consistently rather than pushing yourself and burning out trying to stick to a schedule that's not realistic. All right, my friends, those were my 5 tips to start and grow your YouTube channel and get you started on the right foot. But we're not done yet. I'm going to give you some special sauce. I'm going to give you some bonus content now. Don't forget to have fun. In the beginning, it's super fun. You're sharing content, you're learning as you go. But as your audience starts to grow, you put more pressure on yourself. Maybe your schedule gets tight. Burnout can start to set in. This is especially dangerous if you've tried to build a channel and trying to build a community around a hobby, or if you're trying to monetize a hobby. This can very easily suck all of the fun out of your hobby. Just a warning. I kind of toe the line there between this being really frustrating and really fun. It kind of sways back and forth, but I always try to put steps in place to bring it back to the fun side. I remember at the end of the day, I'm just a 40-year-old dude playing with RC trucks. The whole thing is silly anyway, so I might as well just have fun and share what I enjoy. And I encourage you to think the same way, no matter what you're doing. Just remember, keep the passion alive. Make sure you build in breaks. You focus on what you enjoy. You get out and you have fun. When it becomes a job, when it becomes monotonous, when it becomes too burdensome, it will show in your content. Remember when I talked about being authentic? If you are miserable and trying to put on a happy face and put content out there, your audience will tell. Your content will suffer. So it's better to mitigate that by building in ways to keep whatever your topic is, keep it fun, keep the process fun, because this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you want to build a lasting YouTube channel with a real foundational audience, it's going to take a long time and a lot of effort. You've got to sustain that effort over a long period of time. You've got to keep the energy up. You've got to keep the enthusiasm up. And the only way to do that is by having fun. I'm talking to myself here too. I would encourage you to spend some time to map out a content strategy. Research what types of content on what platforms are working. When I first started in YouTube, YouTube Shorts were going crazy. So I decided to do a blend of long form videos and short form videos. And it has really been YouTube Shorts that have caused the most exponential growth in my channel. Many people ask me, how did I grow my channel so fast? And the answer, it's that content strategy, mixing in the shorts with the long form videos. But I can tell you, 80% of my audience has come from probably 6 or 7 short form videos. A multi-million view YouTube short will net sometimes more than 20,000 subscribers. But you've got to find an optimal balance. Find something that works for you. When I was first getting started, I was pounding out the shorts because YouTube was pushing those a lot. But I had my core audience that I'd grown from my long form videos, kind of my educational content viewers, did not like the short form videos. They thought it was annoying. So I scaled it back. Now I do one short form video on the days that I don't put out a long form video. And that seems to have worked pretty well. But there's a lot of different ways to craft your content strategy. I know some creators have set up entire channels just for their short form content. So give it some thought and experiment. Try one versus the other, and then you can kind of pivot and adjust until you find the right balancing point for you. But going back to the content strategy, I would encourage you to sit down and really think about your content strategy, your value proposition. Remember, are you going to entertain or are you going to educate? This is where researching good content creators in your niche can really help. You can see what they're doing, look at their numbers, their views, and their channels, and kind of model it from that. Be strategic about your content. It helps to take the pressure off. When you know what your strategy is, then you can get practical and just create the videos and the content that fits within your overall strategy. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel or second guessing the things that you're doing. Come up with your strategy first and then reverse engineer your way into it with your content. All right, my friends, those were my best tips on how to start and grow your YouTube channel based on my trial and error, mistakes, and modest successes. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more tactical videos on YouTube content and strategy, drop a comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next video.